This latest cultural revolution became a parody of itself, as they always do. In London, protesters vandalized a statue of Abraham Lincoln because what did Abraham Lincoln ever do for black people? In Boston, a mob defaced a monument to the first all-black volunteer regiment in the Civil War because black people dying to end slavery sounds like white supremacy to us.
In the Deep South, this Confederate statue hauled away in Jacksonville, Florida.
No justice! No peace!
Earlier in the day, protesters vandalised a memorial to former British leader Winston Churchill, calling him racist. And in Bristol, the statue of slave trader Edward Colston was pulled down and thrown into a river.
In Bristol, in the UK, protesters there tore down a statue of a former slave trader and then rolled it down the street and threw it in the harbour.
Sadly, this is a picture that we've seen over the last few days as things become more and more heated across the British capital. Thousands of people taking to the streets, starting off in these marches that have taken place over the weekend. That statue was dragged off its podium and eventually dragged into the river and thrown into the river. To the ire of government officials, Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, came out and said that that was wholly unacceptable behaviour.
Look at that there. That is the Abraham Lincoln statue in London, defaced, graffiti, Black Lives Matter. These people just utterly ignorant of history.
When people see defacing these monuments, when people see the violence, when people see the looting, when people see all of these different things, what it does is that it makes what's going on a little less relevant in the minds of people.
Cecil Rhodes, a 19th century imperialist, represents for these protesters the unacceptable face of British history, and they want his statue gone.
He's basically a crook, in my opinion, who went to other countries and exploited those countries for his own gain. He doesn't stand for my values, and I don't want to see him celebrated.
But in the former capital of the Confederacy, Richmond, Virginia, this 12-ton statue of General Robert E. Lee is proving harder to move.
When it's the biggest thing around, it sends a clear message. This is what we value the most. But that's just not true anymore. That statue has been there for a long time. But it was wrong then, and it is wrong now. So we're taking it down.
Judge in Richmond issued an injunction preventing Governor Ralph Northam from removing the Robert E. Lee statue for the next 10 days. The injunction order was issued on the grounds that the state agreed to faithfully guard and affectionately protect the statue.
Christopher Columbus.